Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Smashing English. I'm in a different place today because I'm currently touring a Shakespeare show. So I'm all around the country in different places, but I still wanted to bring you an English lesson today. So thank you so much for joining me. I can see you're all here. Someone from Serbia is here. This is so exciting. Today we are going to be looking at adjectives. So I'm going to teach you over 100 really useful adjectives. They are advanced but also practical and useful. You can use these in your everyday life. And I'm also going to teach you a technique to learn more adjectives. So this, in my opinion, is the best way to learn adjectives about people and characters, because we always want to be descriptive when we speak. It's a bit boring to just say, he is nice, she is mean. That's boring. So we're going to improve our adjectives today through movies and TV. So let's get started, shall we? Oh, look at that. It's me. Woo! This is 100 adjectives from film and TV. Hello, everybody. We've got someone from Poland here, someone from the Bronx in New York. New York, concrete jungle, red fields are made of. I love New York. I've been once. I really want to go again. Someone from India here. Hello. Someone from Bangladesh. Well done for joining us. So the way we're going to do it today is we're going to look at 10 different characters. They are iconic characters from movies and TV, and we're going to have maybe 10, 11, 12 adjectives to describe that character. So you should know all of these characters even if you haven't seen the thing, and if you haven't seen the movie or TV that they're from, you really should watch them because they're all very good. So we're going to start off with Paul Atreides from Dune and Dune Part 2. Has anybody seen Dune? Has anybody read Dune? What do you think? I think the second one was far better than the first one, in my opinion. So we're going to look at some adjectives to describe Paul Atreides. Tell me in the comments how many you already know. Tell me in the comments what you think about this film, and tell me in the comments a sentence with these adjectives in them. If you can make a sentence with one of these adjectives in them, amazing. So let's start off. We have stoic, stoic, stoic. So there's a silent little w in there, stoic. Stoic means you are not showing your emotions. You are cool, you are calm, you are not going to show if you are nervous or sad or scared. You are firm and strong. You want your leaders to be stoic. You don't want to see your leaders panicking or being nervous. You want them to be stoic. So Paul Atreides is a leader. And in the third film, I've not read the book, but in the third film, he becomes this huge messiah almost. So he is stoic. The next word we have is tenacious. That's how we say that, tenacious. Say it with me, ready? Tenacious, incredible. Tenacious is a bit like an extreme version of determined. I want that thing, I'm gonna get that thing, I'm going for it. So maybe at work, there is somebody who is so tenacious because they really want a promotion and they are desperate to get it and they are going for it and going for it and going for it. Tenacious. Next up, we have empathetic. Empathetic. So you need your TH for that one. Empathetic. If you are empathetic, you are aware of other people's feelings. You know if someone is feeling sad and you feel that with them. You don't just think about your own feelings, you think about other people's feelings. So it's good to be empathetic. You want to know, you want to be aware of how other people are feeling. Then we have resolute. Resolute. Resolute is when you know exactly what your opinion is, you know exactly what your goals are, and you are not going to change your mind. So if you have decided, I'm going to move to Chile, I am resolute about that. I'm not going to change my mind. I am so firm in what I believe. So Paul Atreides is very resolute in what he believes, and he knows what he wants and what he believes to be true. Prophetic. Prophetic. Prophetic comes from the word prophet. So if you are the prophet, like you are the person who people follow, you give the wisdom. So Paul Atreides, people believe he is a prophet. So you can call him prophetic because he is a prophet. But also things can be prophetic. If something predicts something in the future, you might say, ooh, that song was very prophetic because what she sang in the song actually happened in the future. So it could be about things that are going to happen in the future as well. We've got noble. Noble. Noble can just mean that you are born into a noble family, like you are born into royalty or you are born into a noble family. Paul Atreides was born into a noble family. But also you can be noble if you do things that are good and right and true. Oh, that was a very noble thing for him to do. He did that and that was very noble. It was the right thing to do. Aspirational. He has big aspirations. He knows that he wants to achieve something great and something big. He is aspirational. Aspirational. We know what we want and they're big dreams, big dreams. Introspective. Introspective is when you're very thoughtful and you think inwardly a lot. You're not so much out here. You're often thinking about things and you're in deep thought and you think about yourself and you are very reflective. Introspective. Think of the word introspective, like that. Then we have self-righteous. If you are self-righteous, you truly believe that what you are doing is correct. You know, yes, I know exactly that I am in the right here. I'm very self-righteous about it. It's usually seen as a bit of a negative, like, oh, he's so self-righteous. He thinks that he's doing the right thing all the time. And he is. Paul Atreides truly believes that what he's doing is correct. And finally, we have privileged. Privileged is usually seen as a negative. If you call someone privileged, it means you don't know the real world. You grew up in a family with lots of money, with lots of wealth. You never had to struggle at all. You're so privileged. And sometimes privileged people are a bit naive. They don't understand the world because they've had everything given to them. So don't worry, all of these words will stay on YouTube. This video will be on YouTube. You can take a screenshot of these, you can do whatever, but those are some great adjectives to describe Paul Atreides. Oh, someone says here they have a fragrance that is called Tenacious. They have a little called Tenacious. I love that. It's a great name for a perfume. Olga here says empathetic means sharing sadness or some other feelings. Yeah, it can be sharing sadness. Yeah, sort of sharing that feeling with people. Hello from Uzbekistan. Hello. Olga says, can you repeat that word? I'm going to say all the words again. I'll say all of them again so you've got the pronunciation. Are you ready? So we've got stoic, tenacious, prophetic, introspective, noble, privileged, aspirational, empathetic, resolute, self-righteous. Okay, let's move on to I'm just Ken. Anyone else that be 10? Is it my destiny to live and die? What did we think of Barbie? What did we think of the film Barbie? Did everybody see Barbie? What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Eugene, salut, comment ça va? Ça va bien, merci et toi? Hello from Korea, hi Japan. Oh, Dusan says that Barbie is awful. Oh my goodness. I liked parts of Barbie. I didn't like all of it, but I enjoyed it. Okay, so let's think of some adjectives to describe Ken. So, first of all, we have dapper. 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 If you're going for an American pronunciation, dapper. But if you're British, dapper. Dapper means you dress well. Your clothes are cool. You look good. You've got like the latest stuff on. You always dress well. Dapper. Then we've got affluent. Affluent is lavish, it's rich, it's big, it's grand. If you live an affluent lifestyle, you have lots of money and it's very obvious that you have lots of money because you have an expensive car and a big house. Everything's just big and expensive. We also have vain. You're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. You're so vain. That's a song. Carly Simon, You're So Vain. Vain is you love yourself. You love looking at yourself. You think you're so attractive. Ooh, 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 ah, You love yourself. You just think you're so hot. That's vain. Dramatic. Oh, he's very dramatic, Ken. You know, I feel if Barbie doesn't look at him, he has the worst day ever. He's so dramatic. Dramatic is normally seen as a bad thing, but I love dramatic people. I think people who show their emotions in a big way and they love the drama, they're interesting people to be around. I love dramatic people. Clueless. He's pretty clueless. Clueless is like a kind of way of saying stupid. He's a bit clueless. He doesn't really know what's going on. He doesn't have a clue. He's just like, what? What's going on? Completely clueless. Shredded. This is more of a slang term. You'll hear younger people say it. Shredded means like muscles. Look at his six pack. He's got muscles. He is shredded. So you might hear about people wanting to get shredded at the gym, or they want to get their arms shredded. It means very muscly. Shallow. I'm on the deep end, watch as I dive in. Am I going to sing a song for all of these? Probably. Shallow is you only care about looks in someone. You only care about what things look like, what people look like. So he's pretty shallow. He loves Barbie because she's attractive. I don't think he cares so much about her mind or anything like that. He just thinks about looks. He's pretty shallow. Simple-minded. Again, another politer way of saying stupid. Someone's a bit simple-minded. They're just a bit simple. Their mind is quite simple. It doesn't think of complex thoughts. It's pretty simple. Just, I'm going to think about cars and my hair. Pretty simple. Dense. This one's a bit more insulting. I'm being very mean to Ken right now because I want to teach you these words because they're useful. Dense is a more aggressive way of saying stupid. Oh, he's dense. Like his brain is just dense. There's not a lot moving in there. He's completely dense. So it's a lot ruder way of saying that someone is not very clever. And then suave. Suave. It's a weird word to say. It looks like suave, but it's not. It's just suave. Suave. Suave is, think like James Bond, kind of, a bit cool, wears really cool stuff, is able to like raise an eyebrow and say, hey, can I buy you a drink? Suave, kind of cool like that. Because he can be suave when he wants to be. He can charm the ladies, I'm sure. So great. Did you get all of that? Someone says, love your spontaneous singing. Thanks so much. I'm glad someone likes it. Laura, your face lines are beautiful. My face lines? I'll take that as a compliment. I don't really know what... That's my lines. Do I have lines? Maybe I do have lines. Oh, yikes. Is my camera all good? Yes, we're all good. I'm just, want to be the best for you guys. What else have we got? Hi from Macedonia. Oh my goodness, hi. Someone says, your energy is unmatched. Well, I'm very glad. It's been a very tiring couple of weeks, but I'm happy that my energy is good. So let's pause here. So this is a great technique, by the way. So if you are wanting to learn more adjectives, find categories to put them in. So you could say, okay, I'm going to make a category of adjectives that are negative. But that's much harder to remember than if you put a more tangible category like a person. So for example, we've got a bunch of adjectives here to describe, a certain type of person, and we're going to use Ken as our reminder. That's the category that we put it in. And the same with, who was our Paul Atreides. We can remember that character. So think of some characters that you love, some films, some books that you really like, and find those characters, those people, and try to think of about 10 adjectives for each of those people and try to learn them. And they will stay in your brain so much easier if you've got that memory, that image to remember it. Okay, let's move on. Who have we got? Everyone should know this guy. If you don't know who Bart Simpson is, oh my goodness, have you been living under a rock? So, Bart Simpson, the kid from The Simpsons, right? So, we've got... Now, this was on my recent video. I recently made a video about really hard words to say in English, and this was one of them. Mischievous. Mischievous. Say it with me. Here we go. Mischievous. Okay, if you are mischievous, you are naughty, you are sneaky, you're doing really naughty things, but it's quite a light-hearted word. You wouldn't call a murderer mischievous. That's not the right kind of word. You would call a little child mischievous. Oh, he's being mischievous, he's doing naughty little things, so it's quite light. He is quite witty, he's quite funny. He's able to make jokes. Witty is just another word for funny. You're able to make jokes in a situation because he is witty. Precocious. 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 Precocious is used for children who act a lot older than they are, normally in an annoying way. So Lisa Simpson is also precocious. I think both of them are. So if a child comes up to you and starts talking to you like an adult, you might think, oh, that kid's a bit precocious. You know, they're trying to act older than they are. Maybe they're much cleverer than they should be at that age. Precocious. Streetwise. So he doesn't get very good grades at school, Bart Simpson. He doesn't do very well at school, but he's very streetwise. So he knows about real life. He knows about situations that might happen on the streets in real life. So he can maybe get out of trouble with bullies, but he can't pass a test. You know, you can be academic in this world. You do really well at school, but maybe you're not very streetwise, so you don't know how to get about in life. But he's a bit more streetwise. He knows the streets. Rebellious. He's very rebellious. You are a rebel. You go against what people tell you to do. You do the opposite of what is expected. You are rebellious. Impulsive. He doesn't think things through very well. He just does things when he wants to. I'm going to do this now. He works on impulse. And most children do. Most children are impulsive. They don't consider their actions very thoroughly. They just do something because it feels good at that time. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to work on my impulse. Energetic. He's got energy. He's a kid. He's very energetic. He goes skateboarding. I could never go skateboarding. I don't have the energy. He's bratty. 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 A brat is a child who is annoying. They're spoiled. They normally get everything they want. They act really like, I should have everything that I want. Give me this. Give me that. Wah, 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 wah. So he can be very bratty if he doesn't get what he wants. But a lot of kids have a bratty side to them, I think. Infantile. 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 If you know the word infant, it just means like a child, a baby, a young child. So if you are infantile, you are acting like a baby. You are acting like a child. And it's normally a negative word. So you can describe an adult in this way. You can say, oh, my co-worker is so infantile. He makes jokes about toilets all the time. He's so infantile. So it's a bad word. Puerile as well. Puerile. Again, that means you're acting like a child in a negative way. You are so childish. You are behaving so silly. You are being such a child. It's puerile. Oh, it's ridiculous. Exasperating. Exasperating. That is a more extreme word for annoying. So you can say he is annoying or he is exasperating. Like, oh my goodness, being around him, I get so annoyed. I get exasperated. Oh my goodness. Well done. We are on to like 30 plus adjectives already. You're doing so well. Interesting. Someone here has suggested a character that we are doing later on in the video. So well done. One of these characters we are doing. Hi, Joy. Thanks for watching from the Philippines. Hello. If you have any questions, by the way, send them in the chat and I'll try to reply as much as I can. Danielle said, I found Barbie pathetically politically correct. That's very hard to say. Pathetically politically correct. Yeah, Barbie, I think, was quite divisive. I think some people loved it, some people didn't love it. Okay, who else we got next? Let's have a look. So, next we've got, I'm terrible at pronouncing the names from Squid Game. Gi-hun? Gi-hun, I think, from Squid Game. Have we seen Squid Game? I know it's old news now, but I loved Squid Game. So he's the main character of Squid Game. At the beginning of the story, he has no money, he's really struggling, so he enters Squid Game to win some money. So he's desperate. At the beginning of the TV series, he is desperate. He will do anything for some money, something to help him. He's desperate. I need this. I have no other options. I am desperate. But he is resourceful. He's resourceful. He's able to pass the games. He's able to succeed in the games because he is resourceful. If you are resourceful, you use the things around you for your advantage. So you are able to look at what you've got and use those things to help you out. You really like having workers who are resourceful. You want your team to be able to look at what's around them and use it to their advantage. He's determined. He's very determined to get to the end of these games. He knows what he wants. He's focused on it. I'm not going to give up. A determined person doesn't give up. They keep going. He's strategic. 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 He has a strategy. He has a way to do it. If you are strategic, you are good at planning what you're going to do, making a strategy, making a plan so that you can succeed. We normally refer to big criminals as strategic. Maybe, I don't know, a murderer had a very strategic plan of how to murder this person. Scruffy. He's very scruffy. At the beginning of the show, he's wearing like a messy kind of suit. His tie is out, his hair's messy. Scruffy is the opposite of smart and neat. So your boss might say to you, "Oh, could you buy a new suit for work? You look a little bit scruffy. You know, we want you to look a bit more smart and neat." Expressive. He's very expressive. If he feels sad, you see it on his face. If he feels happy, you see it on his face. So some people are stoic. Do you remember that word from all the way back here? Some people are stoic. They don't show their emotion. They're very good at hiding it. But some people are expressive. They show everything. Ah, ooh, oh, ooh. They have expression. I'm quite expressive. Desolate. 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 So at the beginning of the show, he's really desolate. He's got no money. He's probably going to lose his home. I think he's living with his mother. He's living with his mother. He's got no money. He's lost all of his money on betting. It's just like, if you're desolate, your situation is awful. It can't get worse. You don't have anything. Everything's going wrong. Oh, it's just a really bad place to be. But he's a decent person. He's a decent person. If you are decent, you have good morals, you try to do the right thing, you're not going to betray people. It's like a better way of saying good. Good is a bit of a boring word. Decent is a nicer way of saying that. You have the right ideas. Vulnerable. Vulnerable. This is a hard word to say. Vulnerable. Vulnerable. So he's very vulnerable because at the beginning of the show, like I said, he's got nothing. He's struggling so much. So he's vulnerable. And if you are vulnerable, it means that you're weak. You are not in a position of strength. Maybe you're very open to people taking advantage of you, so that's why he joined Squid Game, because he's vulnerable, he's got nothing else to do, so he's an easy target for the Squid Game people to get him in. And he's quite pessimistic at the beginning, quite pessimistic, negative. If you're pessimistic, you think that everything's going to go wrong, the world is terrible, you always think the negative. Do you know what the opposite of pessimistic is? Anybody here, do you know the opposite of pessimistic? Tell me in the chat. What's the opposite of pessimistic? What do you think? What's the opposite of... Yes, well done. Optimistic. Great. So if you always think the positive thing, you are optimistic. So, everything's going to be good. I think everything will be fine. Optimistic. The world's terrible. I hate it. Pessimistic. Okay. Hi, Lana. Thanks, Laura. Thank you, Lana, for watching. Hello. Who else have we got here? Hello, Sarvan. Hello, I see you all. Thank you so much for all of your comments. I'm reading them all. It's very exciting. Okay, so you don't have to learn all of these right now, by the way. What I would say is maybe choose one character, choose a character that you know from this video, and maybe just learn those to start off with. And once you think you've got them, move on to the next character. It's good to have categories. Keep putting things into categories. Stop learning from lists. Stop just getting a list of adjectives and going do, do, do. Put them into circles, into categories. It's so much easier. Okay, who do we have next? Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. Have we seen Breaking Bad? Breaking Bad is incredible. If you want to practice your English and you want to watch something amazing, watch Breaking Bad. It's so good. Gus Fring is a bad guy. He's a villain. He's the bad guy in this series. He is calculating. Calculating. If somebody is calculating, they are always trying to, kind of in a sneaky way, figure things out for their advantage, a bit like a calculator. They're always like, they can't just live life and enjoy it. They have to be thinking about how they can manipulate people next to help themselves. So maybe when they meet you, they're always thinking about your flaws and your personality and how they can use that to help them. Their brain is always going like that. What else have we got? Ruthless. Ruthless. If you are ruthless, you do not care who gets hurt. You do not care what bad things happen. You know what you want and you are going to get that thing no matter what. You can kill people, hurt people, betray people. I don't care. I'm doing this thing because I want to do it. He's very disciplined. Very disciplined. He builds a huge empire in this TV show, and you can't really do that unless you're disciplined. So he may be evil, but he's also a good worker. Like, he's a good boss. He's a very good leader, even though he's evil. So he's very disciplined. If you are disciplined, you keep to your schedule, you work hard, you don't let yourself get lazy, you keep to what you need to do. Methodical. I always struggle with that word. Methodical. There we go. Methodical. Methodical. If you are methodical, you always have a method. So you do things with a certain method. You don't just go, okay, I'll do this tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that the next day. Maybe I'll do that the next day. Everything has a method. I will do this, then this, then this, then this. And that's not necessarily an evil thing. That doesn't make you evil. It's a good thing to be methodical. If you're, I don't know, if you're working as a surgeon, I want you to be methodical. I want you to have a method. Vengeful. 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 Think of the word revenge. Revenge. So if you are vengeful, you are completing your revenge. So if someone hurt him, if someone did something wrong to him, he wouldn't just say, okay, that's fine, that's all right. He would go for his revenge. He would be vengeful. He wouldn't just let it go away. Sophisticated. He is quite a sophisticated person. He's not an evil man with, you know, a bat who's going to come and hit you with a bat. He's quite sophisticated in how he does business. He wears a nice suit. He's, you know, very up. He's a sophisticated villain. He's not gritty. He's sophisticated. Multifaceted. 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 It means you have multiple sides to you. You are not this one character. I am always mean, or I am always happy. You've got multiple sides to you. There's multiple elements to his character. Sometimes he's a bit more, you can see he's showing a little bit of light in his personality. Sometimes he's just evil. There's lots of sides to him. Two-faced. That's, you know, another way of saying multifaceted. If you are two-faced, it means you are able to show one face to somebody. Oh, I love your skirt. That's a really lovely skirt. I hate that skirt so much. You have two faces. You show one lovely side to people and one horrible side. You can't really trust two-faced people because you don't know what they really think. Analytical. Analytical. You know, you analyse. You're looking at the details. Well, that can't work if that works. And then if we just move that, analytical, we're going to look at the details. We're going to analyse things. He's analytical. He's very eloquent. He speaks very well. If you are eloquent, you use words in a good way. You are able to create good sentences and you're just good with words. He's eloquent. You want to listen to him when he speaks. Self-serving. Self-serving. If you are self-serving, you only want to serve yourself. It's a bit like being selfish. You are always thinking about how to serve yourself, how to make yourself the most money, how to give yourself the best opportunities. Self-serving. And finally, cold. He's pretty cold. He's you know, he will happily kill people who wrong him. He will happily, you know, betray people. He doesn't really have a lot of warmth. He's pretty cold. Okay, what else have we got? Someone put, good question, really good question. Cheese says, calculating can only be used in a negative way. Great question. No, It always sounds pretty negative because people have this assumption that if you are calculating, you're calculating, you know, a plan and it's something secret and it's like a secret sneaky plan. And normally people who are making secret sneaky plans are normally doing it for evil. So yes, usually calculating is a negative one, but great question. Someone says, Marco says a lot of these words sound like the Spanish words. So I don't speak Spanish, but apparently you've got sofisticado, elocuente, metodico, calculador, disciplinado, multifacieto, analítico. How's that? Was that okay? I think I sounded Italian there. I'm not good with, I never learnt Spanish once. Okay, someone said there's positive calculating in a chess game. True. So if you are playing chess, you could be calculating in terms of what you're going to do next. But again, it has this kind of competitive streak to it. I would never say, I love her, she's so calculating when we play chess, it's great. I would use it as a negative, even though it's a playful way. I would say, oh, she's calculating. I'm still meaning it kind of negatively, but in a more playful way, sure. Okay, someone said professional. Yeah, Gus Fring is pretty professional. When it comes to his business, he's pretty professional. If you've just joined us, by the way, we are looking at characters from movie and TV, and we are getting 10, 11, 12 adjectives to describe that character. Who have we got next? I love this next one. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way. Have you seen Mary Poppins? It will make you so happy. If you want to practice British English, watch Mary Poppins, it's so great. Mary Poppins is very prim. We usually say prim and proper. We normally put them together. It means you are very elegant, you are straight up, you are not going to, do anything rude or crude. A bit like the Queen, the royal family, they're quite prim. Up here, I'm always going to say the right thing, I'm going to be very well behaved, do. Then we have snooty. Snooty is a bit more of a negative word. If you are snooty, you look down on things that you don't approve of. Like, oh, okay, are you going to wear that? Oh, okay. Where are we going to eat today? McDonald's? Oh, like always looking down at things. You like the high standard and that's it. You don't like things that are a low standard. Particular. She's very particular. She knows exactly what she wants, and everything she does is specific. It's particular. So if she says clean your room, she has a particular standard that she wants achieved, and if you don't do that, she will tell you, nope, that's not quite right. Let's do it like this. Specific, detailed. Straight-laced. If you are straight-laced, you have very traditional views, quite old-fashioned. You maybe don't like it when Beyonce wears clothes that are quite revealing. Or, you're very sort of conservative, traditional. You have very sort of square views. You don't like things that are a bit more fluid. Magical. She's magical. She can fly. She's amazing. She can fly. She goes up the stairs, like she goes up the banister. She's amazing. She's nurturing. She's a nanny. Mary Poppins is a nanny, so she is nurturing. People who are nurturing are normally mothers, those people who want to help people grow, normally with children. They want to really help children to grow and be better. Like you nurture a plant. You nurture a plant to help it grow. You are nurturing. She's pretty whimsical. She is quite straight and strict, but she's also whimsical. She dances and sings and goes to these magical places. Whimsical is light, playful, silly, imagine like a fairy, a bit weird, a bit crazy, but very playful and magical. It's a lovely word, whimsical, lovely word. Authoritative. So I love Mary Poppins. She's able to be whimsical and magical, but also authoritative. If you are authoritative, you have authority. Do what I say. Do this, do that. And you listen to her because she's authoritative. She's self-assured. If you are self-assured, you are sure about yourself. You're not insecure. You're not worried. Oh, is that the right thing to say? Oh, sorry. You know exactly what you're saying and you're confident in yourself. So I want to do this. Let's go. Very different to, shall we do this? Is that okay? Self-assured, normally leaders are quite self-assured because they don't doubt themselves. She's musical, she sings. The music in Mary Poppins is so lovely. She's musical, she can sing, she's very musical. And she is no nonsense. I love this word, no nonsense. You can say someone is no nonsense. So Mary Poppins is a no nonsense nanny. It means you don't accept any nonsense. You don't accept any silliness. You don't accept any misbehaving. You know you are strict. Let's not have any nonsense, please. I am a no nonsense nanny. That's what I mean. How many people have seen Mary Poppins? Olga says, it's amazing. It's my favourite fairy tale. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yes, she's great. I love Mary Poppins. She has a huge bag. She has a magical bag and it's so great. You need to watch Mary Poppins. That's my task for you all. Go away and watch Mary Poppins. She can fly on her umbrella, you're right. And she has a song that goes, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite precocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll... Oh, here we go. So, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Precocious, we learnt that word earlier. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's not a word, by the way. That's a word she made up. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You don't need to learn that one. Okay, next up we have... Now and become death, destroyer of worlds. So we are looking at the character Oppenheimer. I know Oppenheimer is a real person, but I don't know the real person. I haven't seen the real person, but I've seen a whole movie about Cillian Murphy's portrayal of Oppenheimer. That might not be what he was really like. We don't know, but in that version of the movie, that's what we're going for. So I'm looking at the character of Oppenheimer, not the person, because I don't know the person. So Oppenheimer is complex. He is complex. You can't just say he's one thing or another. There's multiple different things in his brain. He does very different actions. He's complex. He's complicated. It's not an easy character to understand. He's very complex. He's intense. He's very intense. If someone is intense, they are not too playful. They're not very playful and light. Woo! They're a bit more serious. If you talk to them, they will be quite serious when they talk to you because they are quite intense. I struggle with intense people because I'm quite silly. So when I talk to intense people, I feel a little bit like, whoa, okay. So he's quite intense. Enigmatic. Enigmatic. A bit like mysterious. If you are enigmatic, people don't understand you. People don't know you. You know, you keep a lot of things hidden. Some people are very open. Hey, this is me. Da 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 da. People who are enigmatic, I don't know a lot about him. He's very secretive. I don't understand a lot about him. He's very mysterious. He's tormented. Tormented. Definitely in the second half of the film, he is tormented by what he's done. If you are tormented, you feel awful about something that you've done or something that you've seen, and you think about it all the time, and it takes over your life because you can't stop thinking about that awful thing in the past. He's tormented. But he's very compelling. Compelling. If someone is compelling, you want to watch them. You want to listen to what they have to say. You can't stop engaging with them. Wow. Like a movie can be compelling. If a movie is compelling, I can't stop watching. I'm hooked. So he's quite compelling. When he speaks, you want to listen because what he's saying is very interesting. He was very influential. Of course he was. Extremely influential in the real world and in the movie. He's very influential. He has influence. He changed things, changed the world. So if you are influential, you make a big change to people for the bad or for the good. You might be influential to your children. Of course you are, because you change how your children are. He's very divisive. Divisive. If you are divisive, you divide people. Some people might think you're great. Some people might think you're awful. You divide people. not a lot of people sit in the middle. Most people either think you're here or here. So the film is divisive. Some people, I know some people in Japan have said that this film should never have been made. It's very disrespectful to the victims of the atomic bomb. That's a very divisive film. Other people say it's a great film. It won an Oscar for Best Picture. So it's a very divisive film, and he as a character is very divisive. It divides people. He's haunted. Think about like a ghost. Ooh, if a ghost haunts you, it's like a negative thing that's always on your mind, like tormented. He's always thinking about these images and this horrible thing that he's done. He's haunted by it. It feels awful. He can't stop thinking about it. And he's flawed. We're all flawed, but he's very flawed. If you are flawed, it means you have imperfections. You are not perfect. If you are flawed, you have bad things about you. You're not a perfect person. Does that make sense, everybody? Yeah, Dusan says, I am on the Japanese side. Yeah, so some people think that this film was pretty disrespectful. It's very divisive. Someone said he was very smart but a bad person. Regards from Chile. Hello. Lots of people like Mary Poppins. That's good. Mary Poppins is not so divisive. She's pretty... Everyone likes Mary Poppins, which is good. Okay, let's move on. Who we got? Oh. One of my favourite films of all time. I love this film. Some people say it's not good. It's a very good film. So Rose from Titanic, an iconic film. She's feisty. We only ever use feisty really to talk about women, which is a bit annoying, because it kind of means that you have a strong personality. You won't just sit there and go, yes, okay, that's fine. You will say, no, I don't want to do that, actually. You'll stand up for yourself a lot more. And we only use it to describe women because women traditionally would sit there and go, that's fine. So when a woman speaks up and says no, we call her feisty because that's unexpected. Conflicted. At the beginning of the film, she's very conflicted. When you are conflicted, you don't know what to choose. So part of your brain thinks this, but the other part of your brain thinks this. Oh, I don't know. She's thinking, do I want to stay in this life with Cal and my family? Do I want to go with Leonardo DiCaprio? He's really attractive. Oh, I don't know. I'm conflicted. She's spirited. If you are spirited, you have a lot of spirit, you have a lot of personality, you have a lot of opinions and life. You're not just a, hello, hi. You're spirited, you've got this energy and fire about you, and you know what you want. It's a good thing to be spirited. She's romantic, she falls in love with this guy on a boat and that, he whisks her away. She's romantic, of course she is. She's headstrong. I love this word, headstrong. It's just, another word for strong in your head. You know exactly what you want. You're clever, you're intelligent, you're determined. You're not going to just accept things that happen to you. You're going to be headstrong about it. She's iconic. All of these characters are iconic. If you are iconic, you are very famous, you are popular, but it's more than fame. I'd say someone like Marilyn Monroe is iconic because all you need to do is look at a picture of her and everyone knows who she is. It's like her image has become something more than just famous. So she's an iconic character. Everyone knows this character. She's iconic. She's very competent. Competent means clever, smart, able to do lots of things. If you had... Maybe there's someone at work who is able to do pretty much everything because they're just very competent. So if you ask them to do a task, they can do it. They just know how to do lots of things because they're very competent. She's opinionated. She has opinions. She has very strong opinions. She has opinions on art, on psychologists. She has opinions. It's good to be opinionated. But she also is quite hopeless. At one point in the film, she is stood on the edge of the boat. She's about to jump off. She's hopeless. She thinks there's no hope. There's no hope for me. There's no hope for my life. She's hopeless. And she's lived a very sheltered life. If you imagine a shelter, it's like it's something covering you. So she's lived a life that's sheltered. She doesn't know the world. She doesn't know life. She doesn't know real people. Her life has been lived in like a little box, and she wants to explore the world and see what the world really is like. She feels confined. She feels like trapped, like a prisoner. She says, for me, Titanic was a slave ship taking me to America in chains. That's what she says. Because she feels like a slave. She feels like she's been imprisoned. She's confined. Like if you feel confined, you feel like you are trapped inside a small space. So she feels confined. She says, "Oh, I miss Titanic. It reminds me when I was in high school." Yeah, I mean, what a great film. I love okay, we've got some. Flower has given me some new adjectives for Rose. So Flower says indecisive. That's a good word, similar to conflicted. I'm indecisive. I can't decide. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? Oh, I'm indecisive. I don't know. Hello, John Wedge from Brazil. Hello. Sarvan, we're not doing Tommy Shelby in this video, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But maybe in the next video we'll cover Tommy Shelby. Okay, who we got next? Carlton Banks. Have you seen The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Do, 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 do. Such a funny show. So this is a show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith. It was the thing that made Will Smith really famous. Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I tell you how I became a prince of a town called Bel-Air. Do you know it? It's a great show. Carlton is Will Smith's cousin, and Will has to move in with his cousin and his uncle, and it's a really rich house. They have lots of money, and he's the son of this family. And he's very naive. Say it with me. Naive. It means you're innocent. You don't know things. You are just like a child almost. You say, oh, let's go to the centre of London and park. I'm sure that will be quite cheap. Very naive to say that because it's impossible and really expensive to park in central London. He's preppy. Preppy is kind of like a style. It's look at how he's dressed. So he's got his little jumper and his shirt. Think of like American high schools. Preppy, that energy of, I love my school, hey, we're gonna go be cheerleaders. You know, you have this energy for your school and your academics, and you dress really smart and preppy. Ready? Okay. Think about like American high schools, that's pretty preppy. He's idealistic. He likes to believe that the world works how he thinks it does. So he has an idea of what he likes the world to be, and he thinks that's it. So people who are idealistic have a lovely view of things, but a lot of the time that's wrong. A bit like naive, you know, you assume that the world works like this, but it doesn't often. He's very academic. So remember Bart Simpson was streetwise? He's academic. So Carlton Banks does really well at school. He gets great grades, but he knows nothing about the real world. So when it comes to if there's like a school bully or something, he does not know how to handle that, but he gets good grades. Well-meaning. A lot of the time he is well-meaning. So the things he does, he means well. His intentions are good. He has a good heart, but things don't always happen like that. So the things he does, he has good intentions, but they don't often work out. He's ambitious. He wants to go to Harvard or Yale or the best university. He wants to be a millionaire. He's ambitious. He's got big ambitions. He has big goals. He is evolving. He's an evolving character. Think about evolution. Monkeys, people, we change. Evolving means changing. So from the beginning of the series to the end of the series, he changes, he evolves, which is great. He's unworldly. Unworldly. Hard word to say. Unworldly. He doesn't know the world. He doesn't understand how the world works. He doesn't understand the real world. He thinks he does, but he doesn't, because he's lived in his very nice house and he has a butler, but that's not how the real world works. He's snobby. Pretty snobby because he's rich and he likes nice things. He likes expensive cars, expensive clothes. So if someone is not driving an expensive car and doesn't have expensive clothes, he's a bit, he likes nice things, pretty snobby. And he's quite resentful. of Will. Resentful. If you are resentful, you keep bad feelings towards someone. So you always, when you look at them, you always think, oh, you keep these negative emotions. Maybe you're jealous of them, angry at them. So he's always very resentful of Will, because Will is not academic, but he doesn't try hard, but he always gets what he wants. So good things always happen to him. So Carlton's very resentful because he thinks, I try so hard, I do all my work correctly, and you still do better than me. He's really annoyed about that. He's resentful. We've got one more character to look at. Oh, someone said, just like Sheldon Cooper today, so academic. Yeah, Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory is also very academic. Thank you for everything. You are amazing. Thank you, Moira. Thank you so much. If you're just joining us, we are going to our last character now. So we've looked at 10, we've looked at 9 so far, characters from movies and TV, and we've looked at some adjectives to describe them. But don't worry, this whole video will be on YouTube afterwards, so you can go back and watch the ones you've missed. Cheese says, the only movie I've watched so far here is Titanic. Well, there you go. You've got a lot of recommendations of things to watch. All of these I've seen and I love, so I can recommend all of them. Right, who do we think the final person is? Who do we think? Now, I'm sure you will all know who this last person is. I can bet £100 that you all know who this person is. Here we go. Why so serious? So I'm looking at Heath Ledger's Joker, not Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, because that's a bit more different. So let's look at Joker. So he is deranged. Deranged is like a more extreme word for crazy, like just weird. Like his mind is crazy. It doesn't work the same as ours. He thinks really weird things. He's deranged, weird, crazy, deranged. He's unpredictable. You don't know what he's going to do next. Is he going to do this? Is he going to jump out the window? Is he going to blow something up? What's going to happen next? I don't know. He's unpredictable. Merciless. Merciless. He does not give mercy. So if someone says, please don't hurt me, no, he's not going to take that. He's still going to do it. So merciless is normally a very negative word. It means that you will do what you want to do no matter what. He's manic. Manic. Manic is another word for crazy, like just insane, going to do things that are unreasonable, inappropriate, out of the normal realms of what we should do. Manic. He's exuberant. Exuberant. It means that your personality is big. The things that you do are big. The emotions that you show are big. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. You could say she was exuberant with joy. Like she was so happy that she was exuberant. Like you're showing it in a big way. But everything he does is just big. He doesn't do things in a small way. He's very theatrical. You do things to show people, you know, maybe like when he does things, he doesn't just kill someone, he tells a story with it. He goes, I'm going to tell you a story about this thing. And everything has like theatre attached to it. And I think he probably quite likes that. He likes, and even the way he's dressed, look, he's dressed like a clown. That's quite theatrical. I'm going to put a bit of jazz hands on it. He's wicked. Wicked is another word for evil. You know, if someone is wicked, they are evil. They are just bad people. They are not nice people. Arrogant. Arrogant thinks he is great. You know, if you are arrogant, you think that you are better than other people. You think that you are above other people. And clearly he thinks that because he thinks he has the right to do what he does because he thinks that he's better than everyone else. He's pretty repulsive. Repulsive is another word for disgusting. You look at them and it makes you do this. The things he does are repulsive. He does disgusting things. He acts in a repulsive way. And the last one, he's very emotional. He's very emotional. He's not calm and in control of his emotions. His emotions decide what he's going to do. So he feels anger in an extreme way. He feels sadness in an extreme way. So emotional people, not always a bad thing, but emotional people are led by emotions. Look at that, everybody. We just did all of those adjectives. I think there's like 106, 107 or something. But this is a method that you can do. So I want you to find 3 characters from movies and TV, anyone that you want, a character that you love and you've seen lots. And I want you to find, maybe on the internet, you can use a thesaurus, you can use the dictionary, find 10 new, don't just stick for ones that you know, find new ones, 10 new adjectives to describe that character. And your brain will put it in a lovely little box. And let's say the Joker, your brain will remember, oh, the Joker had those 10 words attached. And that's a much better way of remembering things than just a list. I'm just going to learn a list. So that's my technique for you. This video will be on YouTube, so you can go back, watch it as much as you want, try to learn those adjectives. They are all useful. So they are advanced, but they're not so advanced that nobody says them anymore. Do you have any questions before we go? Emily says, isn't wicked also a slang word for something great in the UK? Yes, it is. So it's a bit outdated now. I would say about 10, 15 years ago, people used to say, oh, that's wicked in a good way. Like, oh, this cactus is wicked. I love this cactus. We don't really say that anymore. Now we say sick. So the slang word in the UK for good is sick. So, this is sick. I love this cactus. It's sick. But yeah, the real meaning of wicked is evil normally. What else do we have? Suleiman says, I hope we will do these exercises more often. Yes, definitely. Like I said, I'm currently in a very busy time in life. We are moving house. Well, we've moved house, but we are renovating a house. We are planning a wedding. And I am on tour at the moment. So everything's a bit crazy. So we'll try our best. Someone says, thank you for sharing this great technique. I'm so glad, Doris. I hope it's useful for you. Who else have we got? Someone says, how to pronounce try. T-R-Y, try. So if you find that hard, do the T and the R separately. T-R, T-R, try, try, try. And Shiva says, thank you, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to subscribe, and if you like any of the videos on the channel, just give it likes, give it comments, whatever. It really helps us in this time when we are renovating a house and getting married, because if you like the video, it recommends it to more people, and then more people come to see the lessons, and it just helps our business out, which is really, really great. But thank you so much for joining us. Well done, and I shall see you next time.